so much specifically for you, but for the gathering here. I have fellow Palisadians who are afraid to put yard signs out identifying themselves as Republicans or putting bumper stickers on cars. In fact, in the last election, I saw Obama bumper stickers all over. I still see them all over Palisades, all over the west side. I did not personally see one McCain-Palin, and I know a couple of people outside of the Palisades who live in the West LA area have their cars keyed, and one business got a money.
Well, I'll tell you what, these days now, with the Democrats are running scared. They're probably more scared now to have Democrat lawn signs than they are to have Republican. Don't be afraid to have your signs up. This year is different. Right now, Julie Brownlee has a record she has to run on. That's why she's not actively campaigning. She doesn't have town halls. She goes to these little fundraisers with all the big wig organizations that aren't even here in the district. And that's how she's getting her money. Me, I intend to raise every dollar from inside the district. I'm not taking any PAC money, no special interest money. I'll only take money from people who are here in the district. That's how committed I am to this district. I want people to know that I'm working for them, not for the special interest. She's bought and paid for it. I'm going to be bought and paid for by you guys.
Isn't that one of the problems, though, when you don't have term limits, it becomes old boys club, that type of thing? The people...
But then it's up to the people to be empowered enough to kick that person out. And that's the way the government was, yeah, and then like he said, you know, it's so gerrymandered. And I think it's going to get a lot better with the citizen redistricting. I think it's going to be, they're going to be done right as they were intended, not in the hands of politicians.
Just a comment that follows up on what he said. It can be done. We have a governor of the state of New Jersey, Chris Christie.
I love the man.
He has a Democratic legislature.
Yeah.
Yet it's not stopping him from doing what needs to be done. He's confronting all the unions, he's confronting all the issues, he's cutting expenses, and he's getting it done.
Yep. And you know what his message is?
It just takes guts.
His message is compromise, and his message is he's calling out all the majority to work with the minority. And they're starting to understand, because he's talking about shared sacrifice. He talks about everybody doing their part in the government, because he said that the people of New Jersey have done their part, just like the people of California. We've done our part for so long. How many tax raises have he had in the past 10 years? And they still have budget problems. So we've done our part. Now it's up to Sacramento to do their part, and they need to start cutting the budgets up there, cutting this ridiculous pay, and start doing, you know, their sacrifice for us. Any more questions?
I saw in the paper recently that a district judge in Philadelphia, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He voted for the fact that illegals have to be, it has to come from the federal government, not from the local government.
All right, yeah, now I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Now, this is a bad thing, because Obama's been pushing for this thing and trying to get Arizona to change this law, and I have a feeling Arizona, unfortunately, may lose. I hope not.
You know what? The Supreme Court is going to have to rule on that. And basically what it boils down to is the 10th Amendment rights of the state to actively protect their borders. And what's happening is the feds aren't doing their job. If we have had our borders adequately protected and enforced, we wouldn't have an immigration problem. That's the bottom line. And, you know, that's a whole different argument about what to do with them that are here and all that. But right now, it starts with enforcement and keeping our borders secure. And that's not happening. And I think the states have the right to defend their borders and protect them. And the 10th Amendment guarantees that right. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, the states established the federal government. The federal government didn't establish the states. That's what the Constitution says. And so it's going to take the Supreme Court to tell the Obama administration that.
Would you propose a law similar to the one that passed in Arizona?
Absolutely. And basically,
you personally are committing to that right now?
I would, sure. I would, yeah. Absolutely, because I'll tell you why. And basically, and it's a simple law. We already have laws on the books that say that.
It's on the books. We don't.
Yeah. We already have laws. If you look at California statutes in regards to immigration enforcement, it practically mirrors Arizona, it practically mirrors the federal law. Arizona actually takes it one step further and says, hey, we're not going to racial profile. They actually added the amendment to that, and it's still not enough for them. So this argument of illegal immigration becomes so highly politicized that it's no longer about states' rights or anything like that. It's about trying to get more people to vote for a certain party.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are your plans on fixing the education in the state?
Fix Prop 98. First and foremost, Prop 98 is a mess. You know, we keep putting more money and more money into our systems, and we're getting less and less out of our students. We need to fix that problem right now. And it starts with Prop 98. We see all these bond measures come across on our ballots, and we vote them in. The teacher unions, they throw out these teachers as human shields, and they say, oh, you know, if we don't get the money, we're going to throw them out in the streets. You know, Arnold wants to throw them out in the streets. That's garbage. Right now, all the bonds that we've passed have done nothing but line the pockets of the bureaucracies. We need to start disempowering those bureaucracies, take all the money out of the pockets and start putting it into the students' pockets. Let the money follow the students, not the schools. We start there, and I think we can actually get to some reform. And it also boils down to pension reform as well. You know, it all starts with getting a lot of the unions to come to the table and understand that we're running out of money. And eventually, if there's no money left, then more people are going to be thrown out than what we would propose in kind of austerity measures.
What about vouchers for other schools other than public schools?
Right, that's what I mean. Let the money follow the child. Give them the vouchers and let them go to a school of their choice. And again, the unions are unwilling to compromise on this. And I'll give you an example. The LA Times article that came out 2 weeks ago, where they actually put a metric to teacher performance versus student performance. And they said, well, the good teachers have the good students and the bad teachers have the bad students. So what was the union's reaction to that? Let's go picket LA Times. Let's go strike. Instead of saying, wow, okay, this is a problem, we need to fix it. No. And that's their unwillingness to compromise. And that's the problem, that they've become so full of themselves and so rich and powerful up there that it's no longer about the kids. It's all about lining their pockets. And we need to fix that. And unfortunately, our students, we have a 50% dropout rate in LAUSD. We are 48th in the nation school-wise. It's a problem, and it needs to be fixed. And it starts with empowering the local teachers, get the teachers more involved in the process, get the unions out of the pictures.
Terry, 2 or 3 states are starting to tackle the teacher tenure issue.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea. I think the teacher tenure, if you look at, you know, I hate to pick on LAUSD, but they are the poster child for bad schools right now. LAUSD has these thing called padded rooms, okay? That because of teacher tenure, you have teachers who have done bad things, you know, where they've either, you know, done bad things with the kid. I don't want to say bad things, but where they can't do their jobs anymore. So what do? They put them in these padded rooms, which basically is just a room like this, and they surf the internet all day. Meanwhile, they keep their pensions, they keep their paychecks. Teacher, because of tenure, who are they accountable to if they're tenured? Nobody. They're not accountable to anybody. So the tenure is a bad idea. I think the tenure needs to go away. Or at least, if we want to put tenure on the table, let's make it after 10 years or something, but not after 3 years, which is what LAUSD gets. Any more questions? Wow, okay, well. Once again, my name is Terry Rathbun, and I urge you to go to my website, which is rathbunforassembly.com, or Terry for California. And again, if you want to help out, please sign up back there, and I appreciate your support and your time tonight. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Terry,
Yes.
you're an honest man.
Thank you.
I know it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Very nice.